Now, I realize I keep fucking forgetting this is. Wish I really would have remembered that the TV was on in the background, but I ignore it because it's kind of just white noise whenever I'm doing work. But nonetheless, it's off now. But kind of wanted to just give y'all a quick check-in, let y'all know what I've been up to, what's changed, and what's going to be happening going forward. Because I know I have not been on my Zoom and doing the typical 2-week actual posting of my videos, which I was doing real good for. I was definitely on a streak, definitely making sure I hit that mark of 2 weeks, because that's just what I could do with the level of video that I was trying to basically make and everything, but still in progress, still trying to get back to that 2-week mark and eventually make it 1 week, make it 5 days, who knows? It could be quick just like that, but making that system and, getting my life back in a order that makes sense with doing this is the goal. But that's what we're doing now, and that's what you about to hear about. Now, as you can tell, I'm not in Savannah anymore. And that's just another, story for another time as far as why. But I was actually in the process of making a moving video, and for some reason, I didn't actually film the actual move itself, which is okay because I got enough film for the previous moments where I was actually packing up stuff. But yeah, man, moving day was definitely hectic, and that process was terrible. So at least now that I went through it, I know what to look out for, what not to do, and what to do. So the next time I do it, it'll be better. So I basically initially started off by only getting rid of, things that I wasn't going to use, things that I wanted to sell. And luckily, in my case, I was able to sell a couple items and get some money in return from it. So that was a bonus. But the first couple of days was kind of just getting everything out in the open and getting things visually, seen to where I know how much stuff I need to pack. Now, like I said, the one things that I was able to get rid of course, was clothes, as well as a couple pairs of shoes that I actually got a good amount of money for, because to be honest, I wasn't wearing them, and I think for what I paid for them, I got a good, I'd say 90% of the money back from it, which is always great for me. But right after that, that's when the real packing started, because everything that I had, it was going with me. That's when it really started to get to me, because a lot of the stuff, I kept the boxes that things originally came with, but getting my mind right as far as organizing where certain things was gonna go, how I was gonna pack into the trailer, it's starting to get a bit much. And like I said, as soon as moving day came, that was the most draining I've ever been, because I was working up from sun up to sundown, didn't get any sleep the previous night before because I was kind of rushing. And, being that it was my move, doing most of the work was on me, and getting to this age, you got to understand that's just something you got to suck up. So I was okay with that. Now, honestly, being back home and honestly being back in Florida in general was definitely needed for a reset, because I honestly plan on getting where I need to go in this next chapter of life here, because home is where my heart is, to be honest with you. And I don't plan on staying here for the long haul, but a lot of my friends are still here. The close friends that I actually do talk to on a daily basis, majority of them are here, and it's easier for me to contact them and see what they're doing on a daily basis, and also just link up with them whenever I need to.
And that's not really to say that I didn't have friends in Savannah while I was there. I definitely made a couple friends, but the fact that as an adult, it's even harder to make friends and actually keep up with those friends, because everybody has their own lives, jobs they gotta do, they got responsibilities outside of jobs. It's hard to kind of link up with them and actually grow a relationship. So being back home is a lot different, because I already got that relationship with them. it's easier for us to link up because it's more of a desire to. And honestly, Savannah is too slow for me. Nothing to do versus being compared to Daytona. Even though Daytona, it's not too much to do compared to Savannah. It's a lot closer to things, like places where it's a lot more to do. Example for Orlando versus Savannah being 4 hours away from Atlanta. That's just something that didn't work for me. But nonetheless, let's get back to it.
And I'm not gonna lie, being able to get that 3-year experience where I was actually in the field, getting hands-on experience, working with actual architects, engineers, planners, things like that, it was invaluable. And I'll always be able to take that with me, build upon it, and see where the next chapter in life takes me, if, it's something that I actually want to do. Being able to have this choice is a blessing. I'm definitely not going to take that for granted. I'm going to use that knowledge to the best of my ability and honestly use that as a way to work for myself. Although it is the hardest, it's the only way you can secure your own future, I would think. Now, like I said, being back home is something that I don't plan on doing for long. But being that I am back home, currently living with my moms right now, and being acclimated to living with others when you're coming from living by yourself for 3 years is definitely something that you have to get used to quick, because the spacing is the same. You don't have enough room for your stuff. I currently have my own storage facility where I'm packing up the majority of my stuff. So whenever I need certain things, I have to go back and forth from there. It's a balancing act, and it's something that is a challenge, but it's something that I'm up for. And like I said, it's only temporary. And a couple more negatives about it is honestly the fact that I'm probably eating a lot less than I usually am, because I'm cooking a lot less, and the people that I have to think about other than myself, it's kind of weird because they don't eat as much as me, and I still have to take into account feeding myself, them, as well as whether or not I want leftovers. So that's also a little bit more cooking, but it's also something that you got to get used to. Now, along with the cooking, not being as productive as I'm usually am, as well as just creating a whole routine that's different from when I was by myself, because I have to think about the dogs. I have to think about whenever my mom gets home, whether or not things in the house is taken care of. It's a lot of things that's playing a part. So being able to worry about that, as well as my own routine, is something that has to be, compromised for. So it is what it is. While I am here, I'm definitely taking advantage of the fact that one thing that I was wanting to do for my mom was definitely clean up her house and get it less cluttered, to make it feel more warm and inviting. Because to be honest with you, even though all of us were out of the house at some point, it's just accumulated a lot of stuff within the house itself. And with that accumulation, not much has been taken out. So that's one thing that we're trying to do currently, and it's definitely a process, because just thinking about what we want to do and then actually doing it, as well as trying to decipher through what we want to keep and what she doesn't want to keep and stuff like that, is definitely something that I would not take lightly. We getting through it, progress is being made, but it's not as fast as we want it to be. As long as we chugging along, taking it day by day, eventually it'll get done. Now, being back home, you can kind of guess that I've had a little bit of free time, and using that time to just think about what I'll do next. Now, you don't have to worry. My time in architecture is not at an end. It's kind of just more so stalled, or, taking a sabbatical, if you want to say that. Now, in the meantime, I've definitely been using this time to explore different avenues and ways to garner new skills, especially skills that'll take me out of my own comfort zone, and things like communication being one of those. Now, before anything, I definitely wanted to hit the ground running before I got here. And luckily, I was able to get a job around September or so. And whenever I did the interview, it took me like a day or two to get word back that I actually got the jobs. Luckily, it was doing something that not too many people would actually voluntarily do on their own, but more than anything, it was something to do, as well as a way to get my communication skills back up and get out of my comfort zone as far as sales and convincing people to buy different products. Using that experience is definitely something that I'll take with me and look to build upon. Now, unfortunately, this particular job, I didn't last a month. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And that's only really because what I was supposed to be selling is something that I found out in the field that honestly not too many people care about, especially nowadays with the, growth of technology being so prevalent and everything. So honestly, I was okay with not continuing that job because being able to get that in-field experience told me all I needed to know was sales. Now, in addition to improving my communication skills, I'll also be looking to grow my knowledge in property development thanks to, the opportunity of helping my dad. Now, at the moment, we're currently working on 2 properties right now at the same time, and that's honestly a blessing because I get to see the differences in, how things are constructed, even though it's generally the same. Now, my favorite part is actually seeing the plans as well as actually touching what I'm able to look at on the drawings and seeing how things are actually constructed in real time. Because being able to see it, touch it, and make that mind muscle connection with things, it definitely helps things stick a lot easier. Now, using my hands-on experience will definitely make me a lot more knowledgeable with the future projects that I plan on doing, because I honestly plan on doing even bigger projects than these houses that I'm working on now. So this is only a bonus because it'll be owned by us, so that'll definitely help us in the real estate aspect, but it'll also help me grow as far as architecture. Plus, being able to document this process along with my dad being it, it's something that we can definitely take with us forever. So that's honestly one of the bigger bonuses. Now, because of everything happening so fast, all the changes, going down, something in my life had to suffer. And unfortunately, that had to be my fitness. Because me doing a lot of other stuff, helping my dad out, that being physically draining, cleaning up in the crib, and honestly just getting acclimated to not having my own bed currently is definitely something that has drained me a lot more than usual, and it's something that I gotta get out of my own way for, because I can't make an excuse for not at least doing some type of exercise, whether it's cardio through jump rope, doing 100 push-ups every other hour throughout the night, things like that. It'll add up eventually, but what'll also add up is me not taking into account that I haven't been moving. So that's what I need to work on, and I'm getting better at it now. Now, with that being said, I've actually been taking a lot more advantage of using ChatGPT, because it's definitely a part of AI that I don't know, man. I gotta be using it somehow. I basically used it to create a fitness and nutrition plan that I look to, stick to for the coming months, because I got goals to reach, man. I got different things that I want to hit as far as the weight that I want to get to and the weight that I want to push in squat, bench, deadlift, the big 3. So being able to utilize ChatGPT, let them give me the game plan and the best efficient method of doing so, it can't hurt to use, man. Can't hurt. Now, being that I had some actual previous success when it comes to getting to the weight that I want to get to, I'm definitely going to have that in the back of my mind, because the fact that I've already gotten to that point is something that I can hang my hat on and actually continue to push through whenever I hit those, bumps in the road, because I know it's possible. But once I catch that constant, momentum, I'm definitely going to make it a permanent reality, because I don't like being under the weight that I'm trying to get to. But once I do hit that weight goal, the next step is to get my athleticism to its peak, because I'm only getting older, man. And the older I get, the more I want to utilize every bit of athleticism that is just going to naturally still be there. So I want to get the most out of my body, and I don't want to get older on my own just because I'm not utilizing every bit of my body. So being able to do that is definitely something that's on the to-do list. Overall, the timing of everything honestly couldn't be more perfect, because with my lease running out at the end of October and holidays literally right around the corner with Thanksgiving and Christmas back to back, basically, it was honestly the perfect transition going into the new year. Now, being able to go straight to the classic and experience the classic with my dad's side of the family for the second time in a row down in Orlando was definitely a blessing, because it's something that it don't happen all the time. Being that we live in Daytona, majority of them, they live in Atlanta or Georgia, somewhere in there. Being at 6 hours apart is something that definitely takes a toll when you don't have any blood relatives where you actually live. And that's been my life story since I've been in Daytona, which has been since my birth. Didn't have too much trouble making friends, of course, especially lifelong friends. But seeing other people who are native to here have their family members in close proximity is something that I was kind of jealous of. It's something that I lived with and didn't really bother me too much. On the flip side, Christmas has always been the holiday where we spent time with my mom's side of the family. But being that all of us are older and everything, flights aren't getting any cheaper, it only makes sense for my aunt to, make her way down here and spend time with us, because it usually is about 4 or 5 people going up to Texas only to visit basically 1 or 2 people, which was my aunt and my grandpa when she stayed with her. Now unfortunately that my grandpa has passed, it only makes sense for her to come down here and at least get out of Texas. So when it comes to my dad's side and my mom's side, we've somewhat covered both bases. But yeah, man, that's pretty much the rundown of what's been going on and what's going to be happening, man. Honestly, didn't want to be too detailed. Kind of want to, keep it surface level, but the more y'all watch the videos, the more you'll know exactly what's going on, because I definitely plan on documenting my life a lot more, because romanticizing your life is something that I feel like everybody should definitely do, because the more you romanticize your life, the more you want out of life, and that'll give you the motivation to actually do what you say you want to do. So that's why I'm doing it, man. Hopefully you like the video enough to like, comment, especially what you want to see on my channel, as well as subscribe, man, because the more I'll be motivated to definitely do more videos, as well as up the game and up the skills and the actual quality of the edits that I'm doing. That's the end of the video. That's the end of the life update. And until next time, man, we gone.